Okay, sorry guys, I'm late with my second half of my WrestleMania review. It just didn't upload probably the first time, and then I just I was really tired that night. I was jet lagged. So yeah, here's my delayed part two of WrestleMania 27. Next match was Michael Cole with Jack Swagger versus Jerry the King Lawler. This was obviously the entertainment match of WrestleMania. Didn't go in with a whole hell of a lot of expectations, obviously. I just kind of expected it to be one of those gimmick matches where you don't get a whole hell of a lot of wrestling, and you just kind of get the entertainment because it's like two guys that don't wrestle and you just kind of like to laugh at them. Uh, Obviously, that kind of happened. There was just a lot of punching. You know, these guys are both pretty old, so they're just kind of fighting back and forth with like your occasional like drop kick and like not really anything exciting. But I mean, obviously, Stone Cold added the factor of entertainment there, and I mean, it was actually a pretty entertaining match. The match itself, the technical wrestling and the actual wrestling was not good, but entertainment-wise, it was a good match to watch. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not. I went in with low expectations. I'm not gonna complain with that match. I mean, it wasn't excite. It wasn't incredibly exciting, but it wasn't bad either. It was a good match for the fans to just kind of I don't know, just kind of be entertained and not like they're not looking for anything special. But I mean, if it's good, it's good, and it was kind of funny. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was okay, but um, like Steve Austin definitely added to it. Jerry the King Lawler won with the ankle lock, although Steve Austin played a part in the match, obviously. As he was on the side of Jerry Lawler. So Jerry Lawler won, which I was really happy about. He finally got his fucking payback on Michael Cole. But then the freaking anonymous Raja manager goes and says that Michael Cole wins because Steve Austin was like biased and he was like helping Michael Cole. So Michael Cole ended up winning the match, which so it was kind of a weird finish. And so I mean that, and then Jerry Lawler spazzed at the end and attacked like Josh Matthews. So that leaves a lot of questions about like who the hell's the Raw general manager. I think it's probably like Vince McMahon. There's really no one else it could be at this point. I don't know when they're gonna actually announce who it is, but yeah, they kind of screwed the ending there. But I mean, WrestleMania has been pretty good to this point. I mean, the Edge Chris Del Rio match was okay. I mean, it was good, but I was expecting a little more in terms of like Christian getting involved or in terms of something big happening. Cody Rhodes and Mysterio was a really good match. Kane, the 8-man tag match was atrocious, and the Randy Orton CM Punk match was my favorite match thus far. Actually, no, Cody Rhodes and Mysterio was, but Randy Orton and CM Punk was also a great match. And then Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler was an entertaining match. I won't say it was a good match, but it was entertaining. And then we got to Undertaker and Triple H, which was a hell of a match. Obviously, this was supposed to be the match. I thought this was going to be the main event. It wasn't, which really shocked me. I mean, I didn't like the fact that it was before the Snooki Trish Stratus, John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool match. Because then you go from excitement and entertainment from two of the best wrestlers in the business to a 6-man tag match with a celebrity, which is like 2 minutes. So the way they integrated that, like where they put the matches, was to be questioned because they did a really terrible job with moving the matches, like where they placed them. That was something that probably should have spotted up. But anyway, amazing match. Undertaker really, he got manhandled for the first part of the match. I mean, Triple H did a really good job. He hit him with so many chair shots, it wasn't even funny. He also threw him through the coal mine, which is awesome because I fucking hate that thing. He also hit Undertaker with a spine buster through the announcer's table. He also hit him with like 3 pedigrees, but he still kept getting up. Like, I think that if you were to summarize that match, the summary would be Undertaker doesn't die because he got hit by 3 pedigrees. He went through the coal mine. He got spine busted through a table. He even got hit by his own finish to the tombstone, which was awesome. That was another crazy part was when Triple H tombstoned the Undertaker, but he kept fighting back and fighting back. The Triple H gave him absolutely everything he had. Undertaker kept fighting back. This was a great match. I'd say this match was probably better than the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match from 2 years ago, but not as good as the one last year. I still think Undertaker Shawn Michaels from last year was the best. Was the best Undertaker WrestleMania match and one of the better matches in WrestleMania history. Probably not maybe top 10, but definitely top 15. Probably top 10, I'd say. But yeah, he just kept fighting back, fighting back. The finish I didn't like, though, because Triple H had a sledgehammer, but Undertaker fought out of it and ended up putting Triple H in the Hell's Gate, and he kind of just, like, held him there for, like, 3 minutes, and Triple H kept picking up the sledgehammer, but never using it, and then he tapped out. So it was a long and delayed finish. I was hoping for something a little bigger, but I'm not going to complain. The match was really good. Triple H hit Undertaker with so many freaking chair shots, at least 9 chair shots, and but he just kept getting up, and it was a really good match, good tempo. 2 of the best in the business doing what they do at WrestleMania. Great match. But then at the end, I think Undertaker got a concussion, I think, during that. I think it was a chair shot he got to the back of the head, but after the match, he had to be helped out on a stretcher, and he was all woozy. He didn't know where he was, so that was a little bit disturbing. Just the fact that, like, I thought that it was just they're trying to sell it, but yeah, he actually got a concussion there. And then I'm not going to talk about the Snooki, Trish Stratus, John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler, like, cool match. It was 2 minutes. Snooki won. That match shouldn't have been placed where it was. That match was fucking terrible. Oh my god, that almost ruined all of WrestleMania for me in 2 minutes. Freaking hell. If they took out that 6-man tag match and then eliminated the 8-man tag match, this would have been a pretty damn good WrestleMania. But they didn't, and that kind of sucks, because those matches were both terrible. Because those tag matches, the 8-man tag match, you just kind of threw a splurge of people in there that didn't have any chemistry, and into a match that didn't make any sense. And then in the 6-man tag match, they were just, I think, trying to fill up time because they didn't put a storyline together for that match. They just didn't have enough, like, feuds going on. And then, so they just kind of threw that in there, which really sucks. And then the main event was The Miz versus John Cena. Now, I knew this match would have Rock interfering. I was hoping it wouldn't be the main event. I was hoping it would lead up to Undertaker Triple H, which would have been a better idea, but it didn't. So I was hoping it would at least be slightly interesting, like it would be at least a 10-15 minute match. It might have gone 10 minutes. This shouldn't have been the main event. It didn't go long enough. Miz, I was hoping he'd be able to hold with John Cena. He actually did okay, but not enough for a main event at WrestleMania. Like, very few good spots. John Cena kicked out of the skull crushing finale. The Miz kicked out of the attitude adjustment, which is a crazy attitude adjustment. It flew him super high in the air. He also was able to, he didn't tap out to the STF, he got to the ropes. But that's really all that happened, because then John Cena speared the Miz through the barricade, and neither one of them got up for the 10 count. So it was a double count out, and the Miz won. But then The Rock came out, and I knew The Rock would come on at some point, I just didn't know when, and said that the match would be changed to no DQ, and they'd restart. And then, like, 2 minutes after it restarted, John Cena was in control. The Rock hit Cena with a rock bottom, and The Miz got the win. So the match was not a main event quality WrestleMania match. That should have been a match that was probably right before, but not the main event of the entire WrestleMania, because it wasn't long enough and just it wasn't good enough to be a main event. Like, there were some okay spots, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't even half decent. Like, they didn't fight hardly at all. And I mean, I knew The Rock would interfere, but he pretty much, like, I thought that he would at least, like, I thought he would be a bigger impact. Like, I thought he would do more. He just did the rock bottom and that was it, and he left. I thought it would be a little more interesting than that, but it wasn't, which kind of sucks. And then after The Miz won, The Rock hit The Miz with rock bottom. So he had both guys. So The Rock played a role, but that main event wasn't good enough for WrestleMania. That's a good main event for, like, that's not even probably a good main event for a pay-per-view, but nonetheless, I can't do anything about it. That left a bitter taste in my mouth at the end there. So just a few final thoughts on WrestleMania. Sheamus and Danny Bryan should have been on the card. The match that shouldn't have been on the card was the Snooki 6-man tag match. So, because if they put the Sheamus down and Braun match with the card, which had a bit of a storyline going into it, not a whole hell of a lot, but at least a little bit, it would have added to it. And the 8-man tag match, had they made it a little longer, it would have been a good match. But they didn't, and the guys that were in there, they didn't make any sense. Kofi Kingston and Santino Marella, like, they didn't make any sense in that match. There wasn't much of a storyline there. So, like, other than the 8-man tag match, other than the 6-man tag match, and the finish of the main event, like the length, it was a good WrestleMania. I'd probably give it like 7.5 out of 10. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of WrestleMania, and I'll come back with probably another video in a few days.